Hi again, kids. Welcome to second day of our learning Psalm 23. So yesterday we talked about how the Lord is my shepherd. And I was thinking for some of the littlest ones, the preschool or maybe 2-year-olds, that might be all you want to learn. And I know in the nursery you often sing a song that uses the tune of the farmer in the dell. So I thought maybe we could just put that to that song and you guys could learn that and focus on doing that. So it's just, the Lord is my shepherd, the Lord is my shepherd. I'm so happy, very happy, the Lord is my shepherd. And if you guys just want to sing that and learn that, that would be awesome, because that's telling us what the rest of the verse is going to now talk about. And we talked yesterday about how a shepherd takes care of its sheep, and the rest of the verse tells us how God takes care of his sheep. So remember, I showed you the verse the whole chapter, all these verses, and it might look like a lot, but we're only going to work on it bit by bit. Yesterday we learned 5 words, the first part of verse 1, and today we're going to learn the rest of verse 1, and it is another 6 words, so that's not very much per day. So yesterday was the Lord is my shepherd, and today this version says he gives me everything I need. When I was a kid and I learned this verse, we used the old version of the English Bible, which said, I shall not want, which makes it sound almost like a command. You're not allowed to want. But I don't think that's what it means. I think it means that we won't need to want because God gives us everything that we need, which is what this version says now. But we can get confused when it comes to needing and wanting. And there's a lot of things that I want that I often don't get. But there's also things that we feel like we need that God says, well, maybe right now isn't the right time for you to have those needs met, but he knows what's best for us. When I asked you yesterday to think about things that you need to do for your dog or your cat or different pets, maybe you came up with things like you need to give them water, you need to make sure that they have food to eat, you need to make sure that they get outside if they're a dog, or that they have a toy to play with in the house. There's things that we do for our pets to take care of them. And that's similar to what God gives us. The Bible tells us that he's the giver of all good gifts. But sometimes we think that, well, I need to have these things in order to survive, and yet God knows what's best for us. So we're told to trust God for those things that we need and to trust that he knows when it's best and what is best for us. So far we've learned the Lord is my shepherd. Today we're talking about he gives me everything I need. So you guys can say that with me. He gives me everything I need. And I was thinking of how when we get something, we hold out our hand. So for today's picture, yesterday we drew a shepherd and a sheep, which reminds us how the Lord is our shepherd, we're the sheep. But today I'm just going to get us to draw our hands, and that's going to remind us that God gives us what we need. So here's the second half of our picture. Yesterday over here we did the Lord is my shepherd, the shepherd and the sheep. So we can even do a 1 up here because this is verse 1. And now today I'm just going to get you to trace your hand. So put your hand in the middle of the page and draw around it. My hand's a little too big, so I'm shifting it here as I'm drawing. So there's my hand. Oop, went funny. So just fix any kind of weird wobblies that you might have done. And then you can show God. So what are some things that we need? And again, this is just to remind us that God is giving us these things, and we have to just hold out our hand and he can put them in there. So maybe we think one thing that God gives us that we need is something to drink, right? We need to be able to drink. It's not a very good to scale picture, but that's okay. Some other things that we need are something to eat. So I'm just going to draw, again, not a very clear picture, but a piece of bread, because God gives us bread to eat and he provides for our needs. I know for me, it's important that I have friends and family, and God provides those people for us to live with and to be a part of our lives, because we're meant to be together and to be a part of a group. So those are maybe some things that I feel like I need. Maybe there's other things that you feel like you need. So we drew our picture of the hand and reminding us that God gives us these things, that we work for them and we maybe have to go shopping for them. Obviously, your mom and dad will go pick up a lot of those things that we need, but in the end, it's God that's giving us these things to take care of us and to provide for us. And sometimes maybe we don't feel like we get those things when we really feel like we need them, but we have to trust God that He will take care of us and that He knows what's best. So we have the Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything that I need. And again, this is reminding us that all the good gifts that we have come from God. Yesterday, I had you write on the back, the Lord is my shepherd. And I forgot to get you to write down today, He gives me everything I need. So this is verse 1. And if you say it a few times, it's going to help you to remember it. The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need. And the picture on the other side is to remind us of those things. Tomorrow we'll keep working on it. Again, the nursery kids, if you want to keep working on just remembering that song, you can certainly work with us on learning the rest of it. But think about how all of these things go back to God being our shepherd and providing what we need. And I heard some good news that our friend Dakota is going to have her surgery today, so we can be praying for her as well, and just thankful that that is something that God knew she needed as well. Thank you, kids, for joining me, and I'll be praying for you and look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care. Bye.